July 7th, we've seen yet another extension of the nuclear negotiations with Iran, a terror-sponsoring anti-American outlaw regime with the blood of hundreds of Americans on its hands, from Lebanon to Iraq to Afghanistan. This extension is yet another folly, yet the President and the Secretary of State act as if it is cost-free. These extensions are not cost-free. First, Iran repeatedly violates the interim agreement, for example, by enriching uranium beyond specified limits or exporting more oil than allowed. Second, we have repeatedly taught Iran a very dangerous lesson, which is the window for diplomacy never ends with this president and the United States. They can get extension after extension after extension, and we will grant concession after concession after concession. Just 3 months ago, Iran reneged on its commitments to send its uranium stockpiles overseas and to close its underground fortified military bunker. Now again, they've taken that lesson and introduced a new demand into these negotiations. They are now demanding that the West lift its arms embargo on conventional arms to Iran at a time when Iran is destabilizing the entire Middle East, and that we lift sanctions on their ballistic missile program, which had been explicitly ruled off the negotiating table at the beginning of these negotiations. Well, here's my proposal. If Iran wants to introduce new terms to the debate at this late hour, the United States government should leave the table. We should break off the negotiations, and we should say to Iran, if you want to introduce new terms, you will release American hostages within 24 hours. Bob Levinson and Amir Hekmati and Saeed Abedini and Jason Rezaian will be released in 24 hours, or the negotiations are over. We will reimpose sanctions. The United States Congress will impose new sanctions. It is a disgrace that we are letting Iran add new terms to the negotiations at this late hour when 4 Americans are still held hostage by the government of Iran. Mr. President, I yield the floor.